All right, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Thank you for joining us today. We had a little bit of a troubleshooting issues. If you don't realize, we are in a completely brand new background because actually we are in Japan right now, and so I figured I'd get live really quick to go through a couple different updates because there is a lot that has happened, as you probably have seen already in the past like, I guess, what, 24 hours, I guess. So we're going to get into it. But the first thing we are going to get into is this brand new 2024 Tesla Model 3 Project Highland refresh on the cusp. Is it real? Is it not? We'll talk about what we've seen so far, what we know, and I want to hear your thoughts on it as well. So if you're just joining in, thank you. My name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can support the channel and get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there that has the list of credit unions that have interest rates all lower than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And shout out to my latest Patreon member, actually Jonathan King. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for joining and scheduling that call with me earlier today. So thank you for the support. And if, or actually, Jonathan Cook, thank you. Sorry about that. But if you want to check it out, if you want to support it, definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. All right, so let's test a couple things. All right, perfect. So the chat's working as well. So let us jump into this. Okay, so there's a black box here. We'll just hide it or something. But yeah, okay, so if you didn't notice, if you didn't know what's going on Tesla Twitter right now, there is a bunch of spy shots that just got released. It seems like this is potentially the new Model 3 refresh that is supposedly coming out. I mean, if we take a look at what do we know right here? Like, there's a bunch of different things that are much different than what the current platform is that we can spot off right off the bat. This front bumper, like 100%, that is different. I mean, there's a ton of bugs on the front of it as well, so I'm not even sure this is, I mean, if me being a skeptic, I'm not even sure this is really going to be the refresh, because like how dirty, or maybe it's because of the testing they've done with all the bugs and everything. But right off the bat, new headlights, completely different. New rims also on top of that, completely different. This bumper, there's no parking sensors, you know, that's right in line with the MO. No side cameras as well, right? Like a couple people have noticed that from the get-go. So it looks like here's another post from Eric to Eric. Model 3 is going to look a lot more than the Model S and X. Here's it side by side. I mean, I definitely like how much of this is a progress and almost roadster, right? Like it definitely looks like more like a Tesla Roadster than really a Model 3. Now the Model 3 just seems like a flat rounded type of vehicle, and this just looks really sleek, right? So if this is coming out this year, that is going to be insane, because we've got some, you know, rumors speculating that the Model 3 refresh is supposed to be a this year time frame, and I'll show you exactly where people have talked about it as well. But the biggest thing with this, striking headlight design, very, very aggressive. There's really no other things that we have spotted from, but let me know if you've seen other things out there on the internet. But here we go. Updated front end from Electrico, redesigned headlights, new sport wheels, and curved dash, question mark. So you can see right here, there's a little curvature, kind of like how the Model S and Model X kind of are on the, you know, their interior. So that could be very, very interesting if this actually is real and if it actually is coming out. But here's another one, inside EVs. They've also talked about, but a lot of people are kind of skeptics, like I am, right? Like a little bit on the fence on both sides. Is this actually a real thing, or is it actually just some sort of really good Photoshop or something of that in that nature? Because, you know, people like, you know, messing around and posting things like this on the internet, and so this could easily be some sort of fake Photoshop at the end of the day as well. But fingers crossed. I mean, I would love to see Tesla come out with something like this. I think it would be pretty badass, I would say, at the end of the day, if this is actually real coming out of the gate for this year. But this is what we know, right? We know the Tesla Model 3 project refresh is supposed to be coming out this year, maybe even quarter 3, quarter 4. What we gather is from Reuters They posted an exclusive like almost what 3-4 months ago on November 29, 2022, and this is their exclusive from some sources within Tesla that there's some sort of refresh for the Model 3 and also the Model Y called Project Juniper next year. So this could actually be coming out, but the rumor is that Tesla Shanghai Gigafactory will put the redesigned Model 3 into production in the third quarter of 2023. So that's not too long from now, right? I mean, that's coming up pretty close. So, if you are buying a Tesla Model 3 right now, or you've got a pending order and if you do not need a vehicle, I would kind of say just wait. You might as well just wait it out, because quarter three is not that long ago. I know, I certainly understand, the excitement of getting a new car. You want the latest and greatest. You want a vehicle to get into it because maybe you're using your vehicle for whatever reason. But if you don't need a vehicle, if you can wait it out, like as much as these prices, they're going to get super tempting in these next few months leading up to Highland, because Tesla's got a problem right now. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Tesla's got a problem with overstockness. They've got a good amount of vehicles in inventory. And so Tesla will decide at some point to really just put these vehicles on clearance, fire sale, and they are going to drop the prices, because especially with the Model 3 rear-wheel drive, Model 3 standard range, it does not qualify for the $7,500 federal tax credit. It only qualifies for half of it, down to $3,750. So they are definitely going to put the clearance button on the vehicles at the end of the day. But there's a side camera in that leak pic if you look close. Okay, so there's a side camera there. Very nice. Okay, yeah. So a bunch of different things that we can pull from this. I mean, if anything, if it's even close to this, it'd be pretty sick, because a lot of this looks kind of the same. It's really just the headlights that just stick out like crazy, right? Like that looks like Tesla Roadster 100,000%. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks that I have all have lower than Tesla's financing rate. So save yourself some money, and lower your Tesla financing, or lower your financing rate on your Tesla. And as an added benefit, I respond to all direct messages or questions in the comments in the Patreon app. So if you want to submit a question to me and get some feedback on whatever about buying a Tesla, then I can definitely help you out. But definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. But I mean, crazy stuff. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is real? Do you think this is fake? I want to hear from you. Or do you think, who cares if it's real or fake? At the end of the day, it's a lot of excitement for the Model 3, because the Model 3 needs some love right now. That's for sure, because there's a good amount of inventory. But let's jump into the next comment, but after this water break. Thanks for jumping in, everyone. We are in Japan, so doing a little travel stream. That's why everything in the background looks much different. But thank you for the support. Thanks for hanging in with us. We had a little bit of computer trouble issues, and we basically had to wipe the whole computer from the get-go to start it up again. But it's working now. Hopefully the stream is not lagging in any sort of way. And yeah, thanks for jumping in, everyone. But we've got a good amount of topics. We're going to talk about Rivian. Looks like they've released some information. We talked about Tesla inventory is certainly overstocked. There's a little box here. Looks real to me. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. Now I need to figure out what to do with this comment box. We'll put it right here. There we go. Looks real to me. Idras, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool if it is real and it's legit, because it definitely looks very aggressive at the end of the day. Okay, I can't figure out this chat thing. Oh well, we'll just put it right there. All right, let's get into the next topic. So what do we got? In this next topic, we'll talk about a little bit of a PSA for Tesla vehicles and how Tesla vehicles can save you a lot of money in different ways. But the biggest thing is, or one of the biggest thing, besides fuel costs and not paying for that, but the electricity cost is going up now. But the biggest thing is no maintenance or lack of maintenance, or a lot less maintenance than other luxury or other vehicles that have gasoline engines. And so we'll talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on a Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And so let us take a look at this. This was actually inspired by this post or this tweet from Tesla themselves. If you haven't seen it, quote, minimal maintenance equals less money versus comparable ICE vehicles. So this is of course an advertising post from Tesla, but that's one thing, like Tesla doesn't really do any sort of regular normal traditional advertising on television, radio, or anything like that, but they will advertise on social media. And so here it is. Recommended maintenance. Typical ICE car has all these different things, and if you own an ICE car or own a gasoline car, you know exactly what we are talking about. Windshield wiper fluid, tire rotation, cabin air filter, engine air filter, oil changes, fluid changes, spark plug changes, batteries, all this different stuff, even fuel filter all the way at the bottom. And so this can add, you know, thousands of dollars every single year. Maybe not in the first few years when you buy a vehicle, but definitely later on when you have to get to that 4-year, 5-year, or even 3-year mark, you're going to have to pay for a lot more maintenance. But Tesla on the other side, which right here they listed it on the right side here, that really Tesla only has windshield wiper fluid, tire rotation, and cabin air filter, which that is 100% correct. Like there's really not much that you need to do in maintenance for Teslas or really any other electric vehicle at this point. But the one big thing that kind of goes in the opposite direction versus gasoline cars is tires. You're going to spend a lot more money on tires just because of that instant acceleration, instant torque. You will burn through more tires with your electric vehicle and your Tesla than a normal gasoline car. But that's, you know, you can always try and calm with the acceleration and not drive as crazily or aggressive, so that could outweigh it on the other end. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. You know, this is one factor among many factors on like the cost benefit analysis of buying an electric vehicle or a Tesla versus a normal gas car, where you certainly will save. So even though a Tesla and other EVs are more expensive, like upfront costs, all this other stuff starts to actually outweigh it and balance it at the end of the day. But wanted to film this a little bit as a PSA. I saw Tesla tweeted this, and so I'd figure we'd talk about it. But let me know what your thoughts on it. Definitely some pretty interesting stuff. We're going to get into our next topic, but before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, so definitely check it out. All right, what else we got? We'll just power through some of these because some of these topics, and then we'll be on our day. But if you got any other questions, go ahead and throw it in the chat. And Jordan, nice, welcome in. Thank you. What time is it over there? Like the chat feature onto the screen is like messing up, so we'll just roll through it. Show us some Japanese sushi. Yeah, we just had breakfast actually. We're taking it slow. We had a bunch of computer issues, but now we're moving along just fine. But in this next topic, we're going to talk about Rivian, and it seems like the CEO or Rivian team has said that they will be profitable by next year amongst a new vehicle that they're also announcing by next year as well. That would be a little bit cheaper or a lot cheaper than what they currently offer. So we'll get into it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And so let us get into this. So shout out to Sawyer Merritt. He posted this Twitter that we saw. Quote, Rivian says it will become profitable in 2024. So basically next year, and it will launch a cheaper 40K R2 model a year later, so 2025. So really, it seems like a lot of different competitors out there are going to be releasing more electric vehicles in the next few years. Quote, Rivian aims to manufacture 85,000 R1 cars next year, 200,000 R2 vehicles during 2026, and 400 units after that. So shout out to Inside EVs for posting this article. And so I would certainly love to see, actually, I'd really just love to see cheaper R1Ts and R1Ss. I think at this point, now that the hype and price decreases have come down for Tesla and many potentially other vehicles out there, there's no longer markups at dealerships and no longer waiting lists for certain models. I really feel like Rivian should lower their prices, maybe after they get through all this backlog that they currently have. But an 80 to 90 to $100,000 truck is just a little bit up there in my opinion. Now that Tesla is lowering the price of the Model X and also the Model Y, I could easily see Rivian starting to lower the prices, because there's probably a good amount of people just like me that have Rivian orders but are not pulling the trigger, because when we go to build it, it's a $90,000 to $100,000 truck at the end of the day. I wanted to see it get back to like the 68, because I think at one point it did start at like $68,000 to $70,000, but this will be good. I mean, love to see Rivian come out with a Model Y competitor basically in the $40,000 price range, and I like the brand or the feel of a Rivian. I certainly like their color schemes and what they're going for that outdoor EV type of truck. So I'd love to get into one possibly soon, but just not yet, since we just got the Model X. But let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. It's good to see Rivian, I guess not necessarily Rivian starting to become profitable, because electric vehicle companies a little bit tough. It seems like everybody else is like, maybe I'm just saying, looking at Lucid and all the other manufacturers like Volkswagen and Ford that aren't necessarily making too much profit on their electric vehicle divisions. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel. But if you're just joining in, welcome. We thank you for joining in. We are actually in Japan, so we had a little bit of a travel setup with the laptop, had some issues, so we just basically wiped the whole thing and started fresh again. So figured we want to get on today because there was a lot of interesting news within the past 24 hours, most specifically the Model 3 refresh. So let me know what you think. Do you think it's real? Do you think it is legit, or do you think it's a bunch of baloney at the end of the day? But my chat feature onto the screen is not working too well right now, so I can see your chats, but it's not being friendly with us. You can see there's like this black box here at the bottom, but let's see if I can mess with this to make it not block anything but still show on the screen. So let's see this. No, it doesn't look anyway. So hi Dennis, finally my delivery scheduled for 4/21. Thanks for all the updates and all the info through 3 months. Question is there price protection that we can consider? There is no price protection after you take delivery. There's only price protection before you take delivery. After you take delivery, you're pretty much SOL. RLG, thanks for coming in. Hey Dennis, hope your family is enjoying the trip. I agree and really enjoy driving in Tesla with fewer maintenance items. I think about just wish Tesla's service was less expensive. What do you mean by less expensive? Oh, okay, here we go. Replacing left side camera repeater next week on my Model S long range. Repair cost was $280, repair part cost $130, and labor $139. What happened to the camera repeater? Did it hit something? Hopefully, well, I guess it's too cheap, because like I would think insurance, if like something hit that, then insurance would cover it, but that's under like most deductibles, so you might as well just pay out of pocket. But yeah, that's wonder what happened there, but sorry to hear about that, RLG. But thanks for coming in, thanks for joining in. Let me know, what do you think about this Model 3 refresh? Do you think it's legit, or do you think it's a bunch of baloney at the end of the day? All right, what do we got? We got some other things. In this next topic, you've probably all seen this Model 3 refresh hype that got leaked, but there was another leak from another EV competitor out there, and so we'll definitely take a look at it. This time it's from Volkswagen, and I'll give you my thoughts on it because the ID.7 images and specs have been released, and it kind of looks like another EV that is out there right now, and so we'll talk about it, I guess, from my first thoughts. But if you're just joining in, my name name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so let us take a look at this. So here it is. Shout out to Drive Tesla. They leaked this. Volkswagen ID.7 images and specs leaked ahead of the premiere. So let's just dive into this, right? So Volkswagen ID.7, I guess this is like their flagship sedan for whatever that is. So a little bit bigger, or I guess lower but bigger. It's kind of like, looks like same height as the ID.4, but a little bit more, of course, sedan. But first impressions, I don't know about you all, but first impressions to me, this looks like a little bit like this, right? A little bit like a EQS. It's funny here, the whole site is in Japanese, or most of the site's in Japanese, but it kind of looks like the EQS, like same egg shape. And I guess like all these EV manufacturers or companies that are making EVs, they're looking for the most efficiency with drag and all that stuff. So that's why they shape all these vehicles the same way. But I feel like you could make these vehicles just a lot more nicer at the end of the day. But ID.7 just got leaked. Looks like top speed of 150 miles an hour. Very, very cool, I guess. Let's see what else. Any other specs like range? Okay, so we've got max speed 155, total mass 2600 kilograms, curb weight 2100. What do we got? 4 tires. Okay, am I just missing something here? Where's like the range? Where's the everything else that's like most important? Okay, pure electric fuel type. Maybe I'm just missing something, or at least maybe the specs about range, charging, and all that stuff were not necessarily leaked, but like the physical specs of the vehicle were leaked. But definitely some cool stuff, I guess. It's good to see, you know, other manufacturers releasing vehicles, because that's going to just put more pressure on Tesla to make these vehicles more enticing. But I mean, this Model 3 refresh definitely looks very enticing, and this is going to sell a ton for Tesla. I mean, there's probably people that just bought a Model 3 or that are on the cusp, but like, maybe I should wait. And that's why I do recommend, if you are buying a Model 3 and you need it, I would just say lease a standard range, because the 7,500 federal tax credit is absorbed within that lease. And so that's why you can get a very low lease payment on a Model 3 standard range, because it has a low 1.9% APR. So I mean, when I see stuff like this Model 3 rumored refresh versus this, I'm like, you know, I'm okay on the Volkswagen style. Even like this EQS, like it looks good, it looks okay, but you know, I feel like you can do better for sure at the end of the day. But let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking on the ID.7. I mean, I guess like maybe the ID.4, the ID.7, all those vehicles don't really do anything for me except for the Volkswagen Buzz, but that's because it's like more of a niche vehicle that looks cool at the end of the day. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you support the channel, so definitely check it out if you're interested. Let's see, what do we got? Brandon, can you keep the Model 3 after the end of the lease? Brandon, unfortunately, no, you cannot. Elite Gunslinger, let's see, I'm pretty sure you try it out and plug it. 140 labor is ridiculous. Yeah, but I guess like you'd rather have Tesla do it so that they don't mess up anything, because they're supposed to be professionals and all that stuff. But I get it. Yeah, had PPF installed, which broke one of the camera locking clamps. Oh well, the Model 3 images can't be real. We would have heard something from Tesla by now if it was real. I mean, Tesla's kind of tight-lipped about a lot of different things. They'll just kind of let, you know, people feather around in all the different rumors and cycles and stuff like that until, I mean, we've got the earnings call in like 5 days from now, next week. So hopefully we'll hear more from that. But I want to hear more about the Cybertruck and not the Model 3. Let's get through Cybertruck first, because that's supposed to be a June release, and then we'll talk about the new Model 3 Highland, and then maybe the Model Y Highland as well. What if Tesla leaked this as a social experiment to see if it increases sales, gauges audience reaction versus Twitter, and the algorithm can be optimized to produce a better response? Elite Gunslinger, I would kind of agree. I think a lot of different companies out there, maybe in the automotive space or any other spaces, will purposely leak things just to see what happens, just to kind of build that buzz and everything. So I could see Tesla just leaking it on purpose. ID.7 looks so bland, not a fan. Yeah, 100%. Ian, hey, haven't been to catch up on the videos lately. Hope all is well, but if we plan to buy a Model 3 center range, should we wait it out? Need one by the end of June. Tough. I mean, the thing with that, and we'll talk about this in our next topic, is there is a ton of inventory, and if you can wait, I would say might as well wait at this point. Let's see what they say at the earnings call in the next month or so, because I don't think this refresh is coming out that quickly. I mean, the rumors say it's going to be Q3, but who knows? Grace Hoppers crunch. If you're talking, if you're taking the trouble to add front casting, makes sense to deploy whatever design backlogs that have been pending. Highland will certainly invigorate Model 3 sales, especially from GigaCast savings. Yes, 100%. Thanks for the insight. This new Model 3 is fire. ID.7 should drive into a fire. Ninja Turtle, you are yes. I don't disagree. I guess the ID.7 line just doesn't do it for me. Like when you look at this Model 3 refresh Highland potential rumored vehicle, and you look at this, like this looks like, I don't even know what this looks like. This just doesn't do it for me at all. I agree at the end of the day. All right, in this next topic, I mean, this is what we know. We know the Tesla's Model 3 is a bloated, overstocked vehicle right now, especially the Model Y. And there's a couple of different reasons on that, and we'll talk about it. But there was some spy shots, or not spy shots, where someone took a quick video where they drove through a inventory lot, and there was a ton of Teslas on that lot. So what's going on here? Is there some sort of inventory backlog? I mean, we know there is, but we'll definitely take a look at it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best thing on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. So let us jump into it. So this is from FlyDat on Twitter. Of course, they type like this because they're making fun of all the Tesla bulls. But how do we know the Teslas aren't sold every Tesla bull? Because demand is more than the 2x supply. And here we go. Here's the video. This is from Kyla SF. Short confirmed. This is of course Tesla shareholder speak. We can see a video here where there is a good amount of Teslas just sitting on a dealership lot, parking lot as storage. And this isn't really going to be news to us, right? Because we already know that if we go to waitingfortesla.com, there is huge amounts of inventory just piled up here. We've broken past this invisible 400 max cap of inventory. And if we go to Tesla inventory sites, here's Matt Young's site. The inventory for Model 3 is still staying pretty elevated, at least from what's posted online. Jumping to the Model Y side, Model Y is also starting to increase as well. So I would say if you're looking to buy a Model 3, I would say that I would not try and get one unless there's like a $1,000 to $2,000 discount, or if you can wait, you might as well just wait for Highland. So it's like, that's like a no buy. Model Y side, there was just recently a price decrease, but at the same time, there's also a good amount of inventory as well. So I would say if you can wait, and most people are going to probably like wait for this time frame as well, but if you can wait till June, which is the end of the second quarter, because Tesla works in quarterly fashions, they basically wait till the end of the quarter to release any sort of discounts, promotions, free supercharging, option credits, or anything like that. I would say you might as well just wait till the end of June if you can. The flip side to that is interest rates might go up, but at this point it seems like interest rates might stay pretty flat at this point, because unless the Fed increases interest rates even more, we might be okay. But right now on Tesla's website, the interest rate is still 5.59%, but there's plenty of ways to do better than that. Check it out, Patreon link down below in the description, or even some of the other videos on the channel. But inventory is high across the board. This could be a number of things, right? This could be Giga Austin, Texas ramping up in production, all these different factories ramping up, or is it just demand that's finally starting to wane out? Everybody that bought a Tesla has bought one already, because they're all trying to rush before the $7,500 federal tax credit disappeared April 18th or March 1st or March 31st. But at this point, it seems like Model 3 is the only vehicle that might lose half of the tax credit down to $3,750, and the Model Y will continue to get the $7,500 federal tax credit across the board. But I mean, this isn't big news. Like, a lot of inventory is still out there. So my advice, if you can wait all the way till June, which is the end of the second quarter, so then you can go ahead and strike a deal on a Tesla. Start that dialogue with your local Tesla center, talk to a Tesla sales rep, start texting them, and just see if there's any sort of deals that pop up, because Tesla's got a lot of tricks in their back pocket. They've got free supercharging that they've done in the past. They should definitely bring back a trade-up program for Model 3 and Model Y owners to get into a newer version. They've done free option credits. If you don't know what that is, just search on YouTube DennisCW option credits, and much more. But and on top of that, there's always demo discounts that will 100% come back by June. And that's where the vehicle could be some sort of demoed vehicle, showroom vehicle, test drive vehicle, and it sits in inventory. But Elite Gunslinger, let's take a look. Model X, 1,000. There, over 1,000 new Model X's in inventory. I can easily see. I mean, Model X and X just got a $5,000 haircut very recently, but the low prices did not change at all. I can easily see Model S and Model X getting another $5,000 price discount, which would put us back to pre-2021 pricing to where it was before that. But in terms of Model 3 pricing, I could see a price drop, you know, another $2,000 to $3,000. Model Y, maybe like another $1,000 to $2,000, but there's also a good amount of demand for the Model Y-ish, but still a lot of people out there trying to purchase in inventory. ROG, given growing inventory, no way Tesla leaked the new Model 3. Outcome could result in the old Osborne effect, where no one buys the older version, knowing the new one is around the corner. ROG, that is a great point. Like, why would Tesla do that? Because they would basically be shooting themselves in the foot. So you're right, they wouldn't do that, especially because they've got so many Model 3s in inventory, and we know Tesla manipulates inventory on the website. They only show one vehicle of a certain combination, so they've probably got a ton more, as what this tweet or this video is trying to allude to. But thanks for joining in, everyone. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for joining on this Japan stream. Let me know what you're thinking about. Let me know what are your thoughts on everything we talked about. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is a real Model 3 refresh, or do you think it's a Photoshop at this point? It's definitely not probably leaked from Tesla, because they wouldn't want to harm their own sales, which are already kind of probably shaky at the end of the day, because of going off of how much inventory they have in their pipeline and on their websites. But thanks for watching this video. Please hit that like if you enjoyed. Check out the links below in the channel if you want to support the channel, including the Tesla accessory down below in the description, plus the Patreon link if you want to get access to the best Tesla buying guide that has links to all the accessories out there, or that has links to all the credit unions out there that have the best interest rates, lower than Tesla financing. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.